Okay, we got the perfect druggie movie coming up. We got Limitless. Now this is about a drug they made in New York City. Can't remember what they said it was called, but they made this drug that gave the user mental powers, kind of similar to Lucy, but different. Kind of similar idea. But what happened is our star, what's his name? Bradley Cooper? Robert Niro was in this one too. But our star, he was running around being a bum and book writer, already took advances and all that. Couldn't figure out how to get the book wrote because he was under too much pressure and taking temporary jobs to work to do this. One of his friends, was all healthy, happy, and had the same problems. And he was going to law school. His daughter wife went to law school, homework, and all that good stuff. But he was running around as a bum, not looking good, hair all over the place, and he takes this pill and it turns his brain on to where he's smarter than the average person when he's below average, or at least they put him as below average in the movie. Then he gets this pill and for 24 hours he was the smartest man on earth, or 20 times smarter than he was. I'm not going to say the smartest man on earth, that would be stupid, but he was smarter. He managed to get his book finished in 24 hours, and it was a 25 chapter novel. Then he turned that in, and his ex-wife, publisher, was impressed that he got it done, and that she couldn't put it down. She was reading so well, and all he did is just spit it out like it was typing a grocery list. So he went to find his friend and his apartment, found him dead. Somebody had killed him trying to find the drugs because everybody wanted it. Few people had it, wanted it. So he searched the apartment and found out where the drugs were hidden. Where they were hidden is a secret. You got to go watch the video to find out. But that's where it is. So he ended up with a whole baggie of drugs, about half the size of a sandwich bag, and he was taking one a day for the longest time, and he learned the side effects and what was all about this one. And the TV show answered the side effect problem. So if you watch the TV show, after you watch the movie, they'll explain how they fix the side effects. But for this one, he started doing that. He started investing in stocks, made all kinds of money, borrowed some money from a loan shark, paid it back quickly, but the loan shark caught on and wanted some of his genius pills. And he had a girlfriend or somebody go get genius pills, and she had to figure out a way, so he got her take one, and she turned out to be a genius and kicked her way out of the park and got away from the bad guy, the loan shark that wanted the money or wanted the pills. And it turned out to be a pretty good fun. He was able to talk any woman he wanted into bed. All he had to do was use his new capabilities of being a genius, and next thing you know, he was taking her home. He was late on his rent, the second day he took it or something like that, and the landlord's wife or girlfriend met him in the stairways, and she was complaining because he was a deadbeat and all that stuff, and he had recognized part of the law book, and he was talking about that, and by the end of the night he had put her in, he had her in the bed according to the movie. And she forgave him or something about the rent. She wasn't no longer upset. And he got back to his place and had to clean the place out because he couldn't believe he was living like a slob. It was all messy and, you know, like typical guys live, they just don't clean things. Most of the time, you know, that's the stereotype that Hollywood puts out anyway, but, you know, that's the whole thing. Oh, and they called it NZT-48 after he learns the name. And he went around looking for that, as well as he was trying to he was trying to get a stockbroker to a stockbroker to put him on his team or help him with some investments, and he found out, you know, some things about what's going on with the investments and his changing of the guard type of thing. And I really liked it. I don't know if you liked it, but I liked the stupid thing. It's kind of crazy, and, you know, he even wanted to become the president of the United States and all that. Then when he gets all the way through the end, he run out of supply, and the bad guys all catch up to him in this fancy new high-rise penthouse that's, you know, probably bigger than the building. They showed him up on the balcony getting ready to jump off. At the end, I guess he had done whatever he wanted to do. So I really did like this movie. The whole idea of being able to take a drug and turn your whole life around is something that they've been putting out for years and years and years. Well, you know, that turned out pretty good. So, Relative Media put this thing out. How about that? A different media place than the big three. That's good. Small media company put this one out, so they must have considered it a B flick instead of an A flick, like the big ones put out. Let's see what we can get into here. Okay, March 8th, 2011, they released it in New York City. Wow, I didn't know they did that. Then March 18th, 2011, they released it to the rest of the United States. You know, at least this one was released to the United States and not, you know, to China or India or Taiwan or someplace else. That was pretty good. In 2011, they were starting to do that then. Now, this was 105 minutes long. It was done in English. It was in the United States, according to the information I've got here in front of me. They spent $27 million on this whole video, making it, and they did $161.8 million at the box office, which I thought was pretty good, you know, as far as him putting it out. Now, our guy also had blackouts, where he'd just disappear or go walking or doing something while he was on his drugs. One of the side effects. So anyway, I don't know if I put in enough time on this movie review, but, you know, I like this movie. Even though there's been a lot of them here that I haven't liked this one. This one actually, the storyline kind of actually made sense when it didn't really make sense. It was more of a science fiction ideology, but, you know, it did pretty good. It was interesting. It kept your attention most of the time. It's not one of those that you can't, you would lose your place if you walk by. It's easy to pick back up if you had to go to the bathroom and leave it playing, because you can figure out what's going on pretty quickly. Anyway, so take care. We'll see you on the next one, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Lights came up, my jaw just dropped. Wait, did that just happen? Happen. Rewind that logic. Hit the brakes. For goodness gracious sakes. What did I just watch? What did I just watch? Let me break it down for you. Click that link for the